Ladies and mostly gentlemen, today we're going to talk about everything coming in the very first major content update of Shadowlands, Chains of Domination. Now this actually launches on the PTR next week, so I thought I'd put together a little video just going over all of the brand new features coming to the game in this major content update. But before we get into that, guys, just want to thank the sponsor of this video, and that is my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to check me out streaming Chains of Domination on the PTR or the Burning Crusade Classic Beta, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. Right, so it's been just over 2 months since they actually announced Chains of Domination at BlizzCon Online, so I thought I'd put together a little video just kind of telling you guys all of the brand new things that are actually coming to the game in patch 9.1. As I mentioned at the start of the video, this is launching on the PTR next week, so expect a ton of video content and stream content coming out of this channel over the next couple weeks. It's going to be insane, and I'm really looking forward to finally getting my teeth into the patch 9.1 PTR. So there's a lot to get through in this video, so let's just kind of jump straight in with our first update, and that is to Covenants. Covenants will be receiving quite a big update in this patch, including 40 new levels of Renown. Yeah, so Renown will be going all the way up to 80 in patch 9.1. Alongside that will be some brand new Covenant campaigns. No doubt also those 40 levels of Renown will also have some rewards attached to those. And of course, the major update to Covenants is the inclusion of flying. Yes, flying will be coming in patch 9.1 through the Covenant campaign. Shadowlands Pathfinder will be unlocked through that. There's no reputation or anything like that. It will just simply be through Renown, and actually completing that will also give you a mount for each of your Covenants. So each of the 4 Covenants do have their very own mounts, which I've done a full video going over all those. Obviously, once the PTR launches, I'll show you them all in game. But yeah, so flying is coming. You'll be able to fly in all of the regular zones, not in the Maw and not in Oribos, but Bastion, Revendreth, Ardenweald, and Maldraxxus you will be able to fly in, so look forward to that in patch 9.1. Alongside flying, we're actually going to get a new armor set from each of the Covenants. This is a armor set that goes across all armor types, so each Covenant will only receive one of them, and this is the image that they gave us of the armor sets. Some of them are okay, some of them are not so great, not sure if they're unfinished or whatever. A little bit strange that some of them don't have shoulders or anything like that, and I'm not sure if that's a design choice or simply it just wasn't complete in time for BlizzCon Online. But these are the armor sets you will be obtaining through the Covenant campaign, presumably, going into 9.1. One of the most major pieces of content of patch 9.1 for players to do is Korthia, the City of Secrets. This is going to be a brand new area of the Maw, which will include dailies and mounts and pets to collect, and presumably some new mount grinding. And yeah, it sounds like a pretty great area, honestly. The Maw, you know, definitely had some mixed receptions in 9.1, but hopefully Korthia will be just a fun zone. We didn't see a lot of it at BlizzCon Online, unfortunately, but obviously we'll see more when the PTR launches next week. But as of right now, we know that it's a new area of the Maw, not an entirely new zone, but a new area. So not sure on the scale there, but it looks like a lot of fun, and from the sounds of it, I'll be very interested to see what kind of content we have coming out of Korthia. But as I said, this is one of the major things you'll be doing in patch 9.1 Chains of Domination. So speaking of the Maw, we'll actually be getting some updates as well. Stygia, the currency of 9.0, will be actually removed and replaced with a brand new currency from Venari. So spend all your Stygia right now, stop stockpiling it, because by the time 9.1 comes out, it's going to be removed, or I guess the sources of it will be removed. I don't think the vendor will be removed entirely, just the sources of Stygia, presumably. One major update is actually that all mounts will now be usable in the Maw. Yeah, so no longer do you have to go through the twisted corridors or anything like that. You will actually be able to use all of your mounts in the Maw. And one thing that they did actually talk about was that the Maw will actually just not be as aggressive. Like, it won't be, you know, a super terrifying zone that you're just going to die all the time, you lose all your Stygia and everything like that. They're actually removing the Eye of the Jailer as well. So my assumption is that it's just going to be kind of like a normal zone going into 9.1, and you'll be able to complete all of that stuff that you might not have done in 9.0 because of just, you know, how stressful the Maw is, especially with that Eye of the Jailer mechanic, which is going to be removable, I believe, through a quest, which sounds quite good. So the Maw is turning into a much more manageable zone in 9.1. So speaking of the Maw and Korthia and everything like that, Torghast, our good friend Torghast, will actually be gaining a ton of new updates in patch 9.1 as well, including new floors, new foes, new traps, and new powers. Yeah, so that's what they announced during the BlizzCon Online panel. They also said that the Terror Grew will now be removed, the Death Counter will now be removed, presumably going to be replaced with some other sort of mechanic, but the Terror Grew, as you know it right now, will actually be removed from Torghast. They also teased new layers and rewards for the Twisted Corridors, but nothing to announce right now, unfortunately. And of course, you know, as I mentioned before, new floors and stuff like that, they will be adding a brand new layer with a brand new aesthetic. So looking forward to seeing what that looks like. We didn't get any screenshots or anything from inside of Torghast, unfortunately, at BlizzCon Online. I hope that this new layer is actually super different to the rest of the layers. I'll be looking forward to seeing like just a different kind of scenery for some Torghast in the future. So of course, with every single major content patch, we do get a brand new raid, and this is the Sanctum of Domination. This is a 10-boss raid located in Torghast, I believe, according to the one screenshot that we do have from the raid. Looks like it will be kind of taking place slightly in Torghast. Presumably it'll be going outside of there as well and going on a whole big tangent to all sorts of places, and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely incredible looking. We actually already know 50% of the bosses in this 10-boss raid, one of them being the Terragru's Revenge, which obviously goes in line with the Terragru being removed from Torghast. Also, the Eye of the Jailer will be a boss, the Fate of the Damned, and then Kel'Thuzad. Yeah, Kel'Thuzad making a third return. Hopefully they do use some of that kind of, you know, mechanics from the vanilla boss. That'd be kind of cool to see. Maybe not phase 1, but maybe some phase 2 stuff in there. That'd be kind of nice to get in there. And of course, the final boss of the Sanctum of Domination will be Sylvanas Windrunner. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see. Looking forward to what kind of boss fight that will actually end up being. And yeah, very, very interesting raid for sure. And I can't wait to see it. They actually did announce that raid testing will be happening a week after the PTR. So in 2 weeks' time, we'll actually be seeing the first insides of the Sanctum of Domination. And of course, the 10 bosses that are inside of it. Alongside this 10 boss raid, we'll actually be getting a 8 boss mega dungeon. Yes, the mega dungeon returns. Obviously, first saw in Karazhan in 7.1. Obviously saw the Mechagon Mega Dungeon, and now we have Tazavesh, the Veiled Market. This is the Broker Mega Dungeon of patch 9.1. This is a 8-boss Mega Dungeon, as I mentioned. Currently going to be Mythic only, with presumably Mythic Plus and Heroic coming in the next couple patches. It looks really cool. We didn't really see too many in-game images of the dungeon, unfortunately. A lot of concept art, though, and it does look absolutely amazing. There's also a mount from there, which looks like a flying disc, which will be interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of the flying discs, but we will be getting a mount from the Mega Dungeon and some really unique looking weapons. So I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully some more weapon designs coming out of the Mega Dungeon, and maybe even some armor. That would be actually super nice. And of course, also it has a infinite pirate dragon. So there's that. And according to Jeremy, it's going to be pretty wild. We're going to be going to some interesting places, presumably back to Azeroth as well. So looking forward to the data mining coming out of that and all of the different areas we'll be exploring in Tazavesh, the Veiled Market. And finally, of course, with the patch, we'll be getting Shadowlands Season 2 for PvP and PvE. This brings increased item levels across the board through PvP and PvE, of course, and a new Mythic Plus affix called Domination. They also did announce that they're going to do an Honor Talent refresh, getting rid of some of the least used Honor Talents and kind of making some changes there. So that's pretty interesting for PvPers. Going to be very curious to see some of those changes coming out of the PTR as of next week. But overall, guys, that's basically it. That is everything coming in patch 9.1. Obviously, once it comes out, once we get the PTR, we'll have a lot more details on some of these specific things, and I'll be making videos just constantly about everything that's coming out. Minor changes, major changes, different features, secrets and things, because there's always little secrets in these major patches, and, you know, they never seem to announce them, and it's always the best stuff. And yeah, so looking forward to seeing all of the new mounts and pets and everything like that coming out of patch 9.1. But that's pretty much it, guys. Do let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if you're excited for patch 9.1. Obviously 9.0 has been one of the longest first patches of an expansion. You know, you can't really blame them for it. There's obviously been the pandemic going on and everything like that. So yeah, we're just desperate for new content. Looking forward to the PTR next week, as I said. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. Before I go, I'd like to give a massive shout out to my amazing patrons, YouTube channel members, and Twitch subs. You guys are awesome. And if you'd like to support the channel in any of those ways, links are down below. So leave a like on this video, guys, if you'd like to, and subscribe if you haven't. Also got a partner Discord channel with over 3,000 members. And as I said, I am now streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. Going to be diving straight into the PTR next week. Obviously, currently playing the Burning Crusade beta. So that's super, super fun. So guys, if you want to check me out streaming, I'm over on twitch.tv every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.